So the next thing is, once you get someone beginning to talk about themselves, once you get them intrigued enough to want to start talking, we go into the art of inquiry. What kinds of questions should you be asking to make this happen? The way to start is to think about what the ideal customer would look like if it walked before you. Now, a lot of people think that, oh, I'd love to get Walmart to pick up my product, and that might be great, but they may not be the ideal customer. They might be able to drive a lot of business, but the customers that I'm talking about are the customers that you know that your salespeople can sell in their sleep. So, for instance, I know, having worked with College P's, that if the dean of admissions for a private college with 5,000 to 10,000 students who does use online leads generation services came to me, if they were standing in front of me, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I can probably sell that person 90% of the time. Our ability to sell this type of customer is extremely high. That doesn't mean that the Walmart customer or the big state college isn't a good prospect. It just means that this is the best possible prospect I can have. And your company will no doubt have these types of customers too. So if you're someone who sells small appliances, clearly you need a store that sells small appliances. If it's a gift shop, it may not be as good a prospect for you than if it's a kitchen shop. So you'll have to understand what the categories are. What are the main buckets of information that you'd like to know? So you can design your lead card around the type of information you're trying to collect. A lead card is one of the most critical tools on the trade show floor, and it's one of the least used tools on the trade show floor. I don't know why people don't use lead cards as much as they should, but for whatever reason, they don't. And I carry lead cards with me everywhere I go. We use them on a clipboard. We fill them out by paper. For the higher volume events, we use an electronic lead card where we actually capture information in a kiosk online, and Trade Show Samurai will help you put that together if that's you. There are ways to use the scanner technology that will help you collect this kind of information. But the lead card is going to be the place where you capture the information and be able to collect that qualifiable information. So let's take a closer look at what this one looks like. As you can see, there is information at the top that collects the basic information about who this person is, basic contact information. The next part is about this organization. These are the types of information that I need to have in order to qualify that lead. So if you can see, if I fill this out as Samurai State University, Mike Moyer is the Dean, VP of Admissions. And it looks like he is from a private college. He is from a college that has 5,000 to 10,000 students, and they use online lead generation services. This is going to be a very high priority lead for my sales department. This is going to be the kind of lead that if I handed it to them, they're going to be super excited that they received it. So simply by capturing the right information, I've made a powerful lead for the salesperson. One way to save money on the show floor is to staple the business card here and then take a few notes. I always promote the check boxes rather than notes fields because you can just check off the information you need and quickly scan it. If you use a check form, you can also score it later on, and it's a little more elaborate than I want to get into on this call, but a scoring model in the background can help you rank order these leads in order of importance. You can also take a few notes about this. For instance, this guy seemed really interested. They have a new major, sports business. He is looking for students who play varsity sports and want to study business. He would also like a tuba player for the band. So here's a college that has some specific needs. When my salesperson calls this person, they'll know how to prioritize their time, and they'll know exactly what to talk to this person about. At the bottom, I have Hank, Will, and Carl. These are fictional salespeople that stand for hot, warm, and cold. If someone's looking over my shoulder and I check them off as cold, they may have some questions. So I use Hank, Will, and Carl just to better understand what people are asking, how important that lead is. So the lead card captures the information that's now a qualifiable lead. So I've brought that person to my booth. I've given them just enough information to be interested in what I have to say, and I've captured a great number, some very important information on the lead card so that when I pass it off to sales, they're going to be very excited.